Hello, it's Phil Thatch, and today we are going to the Tennessee Aquarium, both the River Journey and the Ocean Journey buildings, and we're going to attempt to make some photographs mostly of butterflies. Our favorite thing at the Tennessee Aquarium is the butterfly garden, and the butterfly garden's been closed for a while, and they just reopened it recently, and we've bought a membership, so I think I'll be coming to the aquarium a lot over the next year. I have Casey and Heather going with me, and this is what Heather's going to be shooting with. She has the Nikon Z50 and the Tamron 18-400, which gives her a huge range, and I have my Canon R6 and my 100-500 lens, and just because I had an extra space in my bag, I went ahead and put my 24-70 2.8 in there. So that is our gear for the day. We've decided to start our day in the newer of the two Tennessee Aquarium buildings, the Ocean Journey building. And, you know, a lot of the exhibits here are not very photogenic. They're all interesting to look at, but a lot of them are not all that photogenic. But this building has a lemur exhibit that we really like, and the butterfly garden that I mentioned earlier. So both of those are in the very top of this building, and we are going to the top right now. When you get to the top of the escalator, you have a nice view of the Tennessee River down below. And right over here, while Heather's getting her camera ready, I don't know if you can see the netting around this area, but this is the lemur exhibit right here. And also right in there, there's Casey. And I don't see any lemurs just yet. Did you find the lemurs, Casey? Oh yeah, look at that. So there's some lemurs, and I'm going to put this camera up and make some photos of them now. And Heather's about to get started too. Even though these red-ruffed lemurs were not very active, Heather and I still managed to make some fairly cool photographs of them. And here's Heather's photograph that says Nikon Z50 at the bottom. And here is my photograph of the same red-ruffed lemur that says Canon EOS R6 at the bottom. Okay, so there's the two lemurs here that we made photos of, but now they've decided to go to sleep. And the ring-tailed lemurs are up there. I'm not sure if you can even see them, but they're on the top of that rock, kind of in the center of the screen. And there's also some turtles that we photographed, but so far the lemurs are pretty sleepy. We may have to come back to this area. Here's Heather's photograph of the radiated tortoise that was in the bottom of the lemur area. I wasn't happy with my photographs, but Heather's turned out really nice. Okay, so now we have entered my favorite part of the entire Tennessee Aquarium. It's the butterfly garden, and there is the glass roof of the aquarium, and you can see there's all sorts of nice plant life around here, and this place is full of butterflies, and it's a great place to use both the Tamron 18-400 lens and the Canon 100-500. Both are very good butterfly lenses. So let's see what we can get. Here are my favorite photos of the whole day and our favorite thing to photograph at the Tennessee Aquarium. Here's my photograph of this butterfly, and that may be my best butterfly photo. And here's one of Heather's photographs of these butterflies. Now, these butterflies that they have there at the butterfly garden at the Tennessee Aquarium are not necessarily local butterflies. They may come from all around the world, and I do not know the species names for these. And I do love this black and white butterfly that Heather photographed, and I like her composition on this one. And I've just kind of taken turns showing her photo and then my photo and then her photo again, because, you know, we went through both aquarium buildings top to bottom, but our favorite place and most of the photos come from here at the butterfly garden. I think Heather shared that photo on social media, so you may have already seen it. And here is another one of my photos of a butterfly. You know, of course, to me, the most important thing to get in focus is the eye of whatever it is that you're photographing. And Heather made a lot of photographs with the wings out flat, so you can see the entire butterfly. And here's another one of mine where maybe the eyes are in focus and maybe not the rest of the butterfly. Now this next one's interesting. It kind of reminds me of a Gulf fritillary that you do see around here, but it also has a lot of green when the wings are out flat. So I'm not sure exactly where it's from. This one has its little tongue curled up into a spring. And here is one more photograph of that butterfly that looks like a Gulf fritillary, but those are orange. and this one has green on the tops of its wings. And here is one more photograph of one of the butterflies with the black and white wings, which I thought were really beautiful to look at. And also there was a water feature in that area, and in that water feature, Heather made this beautiful photograph of this beautiful blue lotus flower. But that's not all that you could find in the butterfly area. There's the partridge. This cute little bird is a female crested wood partridge, and there was a sign saying that there was one in the butterfly area, and we didn't think we would see it, and all of a sudden out it came walking around, and it went over and found some food that they had put out for it. And this is Heather's photograph of the wood partridge, and I made a few photographs as well. I put my camera right down on the concrete floor and tried to frame it up in the flip screen, and just hoped that the bird and animal eye detect autofocus was working. And sure enough, I was able to get some sharp shots, not looking through the EVF and not worrying about where my focus point was. And I did make another butterfly photo before we finally, struggling from how hot and humid it is in that area, decided to leave reluctantly. Well, it is super hot in here, and our lenses keep fogging up. We have to wipe our lenses off with microfiber cloths every once in a while because it's so hot and humid in here, but that's good for the butterflies. And now we're going to step out and see if the lemurs are awake. Well, we came to the other side, and right over here, there's a little gap where you can see the ring-tailed lemurs pretty good. And so Heather's going to work on some shots. Probably better if you scoot back some. Maybe not. Anyway, fun at the Tennessee Aquarium. Heather managed to make some really nice photographs of these beautiful ring-tailed lemurs from really outside the enclosure, from outside the normal viewing area. I found that we could see them better out there and brought Heather around, and she took advantage of it and made some really nice photos. These lemurs were super cute, and we loved their bright yellow eyes and their striped tails. And while Heather was working on these photographs, I used the Canon R6 and made some video clips, and we'll get to see them stick their tongue out. It almost reminds Heather and I and Casey of our cat. But anytime I'm using the R6 for video, I will put R6 down on the bottom left, as I've done in this clip here. That's about it for the top level of Ocean Journey. There's a petting area where you can touch stingrays and things as they swim by in a really shallow tank. And we don't do that too much. The girls are saying that this level has the penguins, which should be lots and lots cooler. And we like that because we are just totally sweating from all the stuff we did upstairs. But the penguins aren't good for photography. The glass is real thick and always has water splashes. I'll give it a go, but I'm sure it won't be good. All right, so this is the penguin area, with Casey standing up where a little kid stand. And it's okay. But see, I don't know if you can see. Oh, look, we can. Yeah, the glass is really, really thick. And the upper areas have water drops all over where they're constantly splashing. So it's really hard to get a good picture here. But it is nice that it's cooler, right?
Yes. Oh God, I'm so hot.
This one is really playful and likes to hang out at the front glass and look at people. He's cute. Casey is in a shark cage.
Oh, that's
After the penguins, you come down into a more aquarium-y part of the Ocean Journey aquarium. It's a good-sized saltwater aquarium. It's just not that great for photography. So we are going to press on and go to the other building. As we were making our way down past the windows of the large saltwater tank, on the other side of the walkway there were some jellyfish tanks. And I thought this tank was beautiful, and this one with the beautiful orange colors and some red even. And then these other tanks had some jellyfish that were white in color, and they had interesting lights on them that would make them change colors. And we made some photographs of the white ones. Here's Heather's photograph that she made with the Z50 and the Tamron 18-400 of one of the jellyfish, and I made a photograph as well, a 200mm shot. And you can see it's plexiglass, it's not glass on these tanks, and you can see some scratches in the glass in this photo. We came around the corner to the main tank, and way in the distance, this is a really long high millimeter shot. There's a diver doing some cleaning in there. There's a pretty good shot of one of the divers doing some cleaning. This is with the DJI Osmo Action. I'm going to show you this window over here. It's a pretty narrow window, maybe 6 or 8 feet wide, but it's 2 stories tall, which is pretty cool. This is a smaller, much smaller saltwater tank with lots of beautiful tropical fish. What kind of fish was my favorite fish, Casey?
Harlequin sweet lips.
There's the sweet lips that I thought was cool. It was right about here that I discovered that even though I can't make really decent photographs of the fish through the thick glass, the Canon could track them pretty well and make video clips of them that I was satisfied with. There's a view of that tank from further away to give you an idea of how big it is. We enjoyed this really small emerald tree monitor area. Heather made photographs of that one, and I made photographs of this one. You may not be able to see either one of them. Heather wasn't too thrilled with her tree monitor photograph, but I was satisfied enough with mine to share it with you. I thought the eye of this animal was really beautiful, and I like all of its scales in this shot. I decided while we were in the large saltwater aquarium area to make a few video clips with the R6 and the 100-500 of some of the sharks as they were swimming around. I thought they were really cool looking as they swam by, kind of slow and meticulously. And I've made some clips of other fish, and here's a clip of a stingray as it's coming by. I think you can see some bubbles in the background from one of the divers. And look at that menacing looking shark as it's swimming towards us. And I'll kind of let it drift by, and as it drifts out of focus, watch how quickly the camera picks another subject and goes into focus on this other shark as it's going by. A lot of fun. One of the last areas of the Ocean Journey building is this cave where, look at the shark going by. 2 sharks going by, where there are windows into the big aquarium all around. Some little bitty windows and some bigger and skylight looking windows. And here's the diver cleaning, doing maintenance, and there's a shark behind him. And it goes on a pretty long way. You can get your kids and sit in there, which is fun. Little bitty windows. These are all into the same large tank. And right over here you have Casey and a Heather. And as always, attractions dump out into the gift shop. All right, so we are making our way out of River Journey. I said that wrong. We're making our way out of Ocean Journey. And now we're heading over to the original Tennessee Aquarium building, River Journey. When you first come into River Journey, there's this one window over here, and it is a window into the huge tank, the largest freshwater aquarium in the world. We'll see lots more windows of that, but there is this one right here by the entrance. When you go into the Tennessee Aquarium River Journey building, you go up a really long and very narrow, 1-person wide escalator that takes you from ground level all the way up to the very top of the Tennessee Aquarium. It's pretty cool. And I ain't done yet. All right, here's the top. And just like River Journey next door, there are views from up here of the Tennessee River and the bridges of Chattanooga. On the top level of the River Journey building at the Tennessee Aquarium, they have a river otter enclosure, and here you can see these cute and adorable river otters as they're swimming around. Now, I made these first two clips that you're seeing now with the DJI Osmo Action, which you don't have to focus it at all. Everything's always in focus with it. I didn't make any still photos, but Heather was able to get a still photograph, nice and up close, 270 millimeter shot of this beautiful river otter, and she said that she made this shot at the same time as I was making this clip. Now, this is a clip that I made with the R6 of the river otters as they're playing around, one in the tank right beside us and another in the background. So playful. And you know, Heather and I and Casey, we've all seen some of these in the wild at Cades Cove in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, but it was fun to see them also at the Tennessee Aquarium. So this is kind of the central area of River Journey. Lots and lots of tanks and lots of levels. The next level down and 3 more after that on that side are all the big freshwater tank, and then there's assorted tanks on this side as you go down. Let's check out Discovery Hall. Here's a very small alligator. I was only able to get its head in the shot in a really small tank. The next area at the aquarium has some larger 4 and 5 foot long alligators in it. Well, I was making pictures and video clips of the alligator, and I looked across, and Casey and Heather were both faces glued to this little cube, which means we have found the frogs.
Turtles.
Oh, and little bitty turtles too. I believe this little turtle is called a cooter, and we were able to get halfway decent photos even through the thick plexiglass, so I was kind of satisfied with that. Now, I had a circular polarizer with me, and I wish I had put it on just for a moment to cut down the glare on the turtle shell in the background from the harsh lights above in the enclosure. Now let's check out Delta Country. I think you see large alligators in here. And the other medium size. Good point. Good point, Casey. Oh, there's a photograph of some wood storks that has a large. Yep, there's gators over there. Sure enough. Oh.
Henry, look down.
There's at least 5 or 6 in there. That's cool. It's really hard to get a sharp photo through this thick glass. I'm having better luck just making video clips with the Osmo Action than doing photos with my Canon. Okay, there are 2 female hooded mergansers in this tank. That is completely awesome. And this is by far the closest I've ever been to one. I'm guessing there's probably a male around here somewhere, but those 2 are females. We were thrilled that these female hooded mergansers were in this tank. Now, Heather shot through the glass, which hurt the quality of her photo, but she had a really nice low angle shot of the hooded merganser, and I was tall enough to hold my camera over the glass, so the quality of my photo is a little better than hers, but I like her shot better from a composition standpoint. I did a lot of videography with the Canon R6 for the next section of the video, and this is a large tank, but not the large tank, and it was full of these beautiful black crappie, which fishermen will tell you that crappie are really delicious to eat, but I would disagree with them. I think they taste kind of fishy, you know, to each his own. But it was fun to make video clips of them as they swam around the tank. Now, this short clip is from the huge tank, and so is this little clip of this bluegill as it's swimming around. Now, the next video clip, this is from the other side. This is one of the smaller tanks, still huge, thousands of gallons, I'm sure. These are Midas cichlids, and I think there's some, that's probably a convict cichlid there. And I used to have a single Midas cichlid, just like that one right there, in a 125-gallon aquarium in my house. Huge fish. It killed all of its tank mates, and I used to feed it cat food. Now, this is another large fish. This is an Oscar, and you'll see these in large aquariums. And this was in a separate tank from those cichlids that we were looking at. before, but really cool aquarium fish, and it's neat to see them in a really, really big aquarium. Now, this is a sturgeon. This is swimming around in the huge tank. I think it's 135,000 gallons, that tank. And I was really pleased with how well the R6 did as I followed this sturgeon swimming around the tank through the thick glass. And it did a pretty good job of keeping this beautiful fish in focus as it was swimming around the tank. I was really pleased with the R6. All right, let's make our way out of this place. You can see how high up it goes. It's like 5 floors or 5 levels of awesomeness. And I'm going into the gift shop now, which I guess is where the girls are. They kind of ran off and left me. They wanted to do some shopping. All right, thanks for watching our video from here at the Tennessee Aquarium River Journey building. And if you like the content, give me a thumbs up. As always, I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye.